now we are live on the YouTube.
Hey,
Are you sure?
we are
We are live
live.
on
We are
YouTube,
live.
guys.
We are live.
Wonderful.
Tolu, 28 to verse. Okie dokes. All right. Hello, everyone.
Somebody's been saying for ages. I don't know.
It's true. He doesn't know. It's actually true. He doesn't know. Hi, everyone.
Hey
Welcome. This is the Eden Ideal podcast. We are here and we are ready for you guys today. We hope that you're ready. We are continuing the conversation that we had last week on singleness and continuing our series on relationships. But before we do that, I think that it's good to just quickly introduce ourselves. So I'm going to start from D-Man over there.
So hi guys, it's Dwayne.
Hi guys, it's Bim. Hi.
Sorry. Dwayne always just Dwayne always introduces himself like he's just got bare ladies just like there waiting, like all your fans anyway. It's
All
true.
my fans,
One
all my
main
fans.
lady.
That's
One
it.
main lady.
Honestly, let's not get
His
him.
one
That's
babe. Hey Pam.
Hey.
Hopefully she's logged in.
Hey guys, it's Rachel.
And hello, it's me, Tade, your girl. Tolu is here. He might step in at some point and step out at some points, but he's here. So we're introducing Tolu as well. Yes, okay. So how is everyone before we even really go deep? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good,
Yeah?
good, man. I'm
Good.
I'm
How are
good.
you?
I'm good too, thanks. Oh my god.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you. So are you. I was just about to say that about you guys.
All you guys looking stunning.
Oh,
I just came in a yeah.
Swain.
You know, I just came in a tracksuit. You know how it is.
Comfy, innit?
That's it.
I was listening to 2 weeks ago, our last episode, and when Dwayne said hi, all you heard was us go, "Hi, Dwayne."
No,
That's
sorry.
actually
Say
my
like that.
ringtone right
No.
I'm
now.
telling you, it was
No.
really
That's
That's
high
my ringtone
pitched.
right now.
Like,
literally.
"Hi, Dwayne."
Why are we fangirls? Like, what is
can I
that?
say?
Oh no.
Let's not gas him anymore,
No,
please.
this is not our relationship.
Well,
Someone needs to keep you humble.
It was honestly so funny. I was like, "What?" It was a chorus. Hi,
I can't believe you did
Dwayne. I'm telling you. Watch back. I'm telling you, it happened. Maybe I'll cut the clip and post it on Instagram.
everybody could have it as their ringtone as well.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, but like Dwayne and his fans, like, what was it that you posted in the group this week that you went out with a Eden Ideal tea and people
Oh,
Oh,
were
yeah,
asking-
yeah, yeah.
I was like, Dwayne really has fans.
What can I say? I was getting noticed by family members and everything.
I mean, I hope your family members are noticing you regardless of the tea.
Yeah. Well,
Gosh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so last episode we had a convo that kind of it just went really. We were all disagreeing with Tolu.
That's why we've kicked him off today, guys.
So I think, after that we kind of had even more of a convo because, the thing is that we have this podcast, but as we always say, the Eden Ideal is a lot more than a podcast, and we're not just together as just, podcast mates. We're actually friends. Like literally the team is a team of friends who love God. We love Jesus. We believe in what the Eden Ideal is. And so we don't only have these conversations here. We have these conversations all the time.
The conversation carries on.
It carries on.
It is all the
Like,
time.
if only you could be a fly on the wall when we're together, or in any of our meetings. And it's always so juicy.
Yeah.
It's always juicy. Join our Bible studies. Every Thursday we'll post the information for you guys. Our Bible study is always juicy. I don't know why I'm just promoting, but you know what?
Shameless
Promoting.
plug. We love it.
shameless plug.
We love to see it.
So last week we were talking about one of the passages that we kind of spoke about. And so just before we go into continuing the conversation, I kind of just wanted to give us a rundown or a summary of what we spoke about in our last episode. So I'll go first of all because I think it's good to start from what it says in the Bible so that we can kind of just have our bearings there. So 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 28, Paul said, but if you do marry, you have not sinned. And if a betrothed woman marries, she has not sinned. Yet those who marry will have worldly troubles, and I would spare you that. Remember that, worldly troubles. This is what I mean, brothers. Wow, I'm reading like I don't know how to read. The
It's sounding good. It's okay.
The appointed time has grown very short. From now on, let those who have wives live as though they had none, and those who mourn as though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as though they had no goods, and those who deal with the world as though they had no dealings with it. For the present form of this world is passing away. So obviously Tolu had some ideas of this when we were talking about, singleness and relationships and what types of relationships we should have. And in this passage, go back and read the whole passage actually, because it's quite interesting what Paul was saying. We kind of were trying to figure out what is Paul actually saying, because here it kind of just sounds like he was saying that, actually, I don't think that I read even the part about not being married and stuff. Paul basically says in this passage about, if you don't need to be married, he would prefer that you stay single so that you can focus on serving God, and that was kind of one of the things that we had. We had a little bit of back and forth on that, and we kind of came to the conclusion that what he was trying to say is that, in our singleness, in relationships, whatever we're doing, whatever stage of life we are in, we should be focusing on God. We should be focusing on building the kingdom, using all of the principles that Jesus has taught us and shown us, But what he was saying was that when you are single, it is easier for you to focus on the things of God. It is easier for you to build the kingdom because you don't have those distractions. We also said that, it's not that he doesn't want us to be married, but he wants us to understand that when you are married or in a relationship, you now have extra distractions. You're thinking about your wife, you're thinking about your kids, you're thinking about your house, you're thinking about all of the different things that just naturally happen when you're now in a relationship with somebody else, really and truly. So we think that he was just saying that we need to know that, first of all, it's going to be harder, but that should not deter us from doing what we need to do. So how that, I guess, would practically look is, in your relationship, in your marital home, you and your spouse should have the goal of building the kingdom, so that anything that you are doing, you're building the kingdom. That's your first thing, even with your kids, even with your any troubles that happen, you need to always know that your foundation is, of course, firstly God anyway, but that the thing that you're working on together is building the kingdom. And you need to understand that it will be difficult, but that just means that you have to do more to make sure that you actually do that thing, which is building the kingdom.
Girl, well said. Like, what?
That was a banging
What?
recap,
Good summary.
Listen, that is it. That is it. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Paul
Did I
basically.
catch everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not condemning marriage.
Yes.
He was just making us aware
Mhm.
of the additional distractions that marriage can bring.
Yes.
But he was
Yes.
not saying that marriage is better than singleness or
Yes.
singleness is less than marriage. But girl, you did that.
Thanks for
Yeah.
saying that too, because that was a part that I definitely forgot about, it being better than or not being better than. Because I think sometimes we do think that is what he's saying, but actually he's just not warning us, but telling us to be extra vigilant.
He's being real.
He's being
Yeah.
very real.
Absolutely real.
That
Yeah.
is the realness, you
Yeah.
know. That's literally the realness. That is it. So I kind of liked it. Obviously, Paul decided that for him, that it wasn't for him, but you know, that's what we should do. And I think in saying that kind of brings us on to the conversation that we're having now, which is about maximizing your singleness, you know. And that's the conversation. That's the title of today's episode.
Yep.
Are you maximizing your singleness? How
Or
do
did
you
you
maximize?
maximize
Did
your
you or
singleness?
did you
I asked- the thing
maximize?
is, I asked this question in our meeting on Tuesday, and then everybody looked at me and was like, maybe you didn't. I feel like I did.
I know,
Maximize.
we're gonna get into it.
We're gonna get
know
into
if I
it.
did. I don't know if I
wanna
did.
know.
Alright. Maybe I might need to get single again and then. No, I'm
What?
lying.
God
Impossible.
forbid. You do that
Impossible.
for Wayne. What?
Impossible.
Can I just say your mother-in-law's
I
on?
know. I
So
said it. Mom, I didn't mean it.
I think that in this conversation, in this particular question, there's like two little bits of it. So we want to maybe talk firstly about us just maximizing it as being single anyway. Just, you know, maximizing. What does that look like as you just being a single person? And then, of course, go into kind of how we maximize that in the kingdom. Are we even doing what? Because Paul said that we should be building the kingdom in this time.
yeah.
Are we even doing that? You know, so even the way that it's going to be harder when you're married, but are you even doing the one when you're single
No,
now?
I think
the
that
one
was
that you're
gonna
supposed
be
to be doing now.
because I can already tell you that my answer is no. I can tell you straight out the back. On that part is no, but we can get into why later.
Oh gosh. Okay, so then on the first level,
Mm-hmm. Oh, this chair's making bad. Sorry. It's not me, it's the chair.
not me, it's the chair. Oh gosh. On the first level, are we maximizing your singleness? So in being single, and did you? Because obviously there's a few of us that are single right now, and then there's a couple of us that are married. So
As in a couple of us on the team, not a couple
Literally.
of us here. Let's
yes,
just
it's true. Let's clarify that now.
I
Let's
know,
stop
my brain never
rocking.
even went there.
Let's stop rocking. We
because not
must.
everyone knows that it's a team of 5.
That's true.
We are
It's
missing
true,
one
it's
person.
true.
Oh, you did say. Sorry. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very true. So what does maximizing, before we go into the kingdom part of it, what does maximizing your singleness mean to you? We're now not talking about it being the king. Let's forget the part of kingdom, just self now,
It's
because
life. Yeah.
life, yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, the question, like, or that statement, maximizing your singleness, implies that there are certain things that you can't do or can't do as well when you're in a relationship or in a marriage. That's just the way I feel like that question is framing it. Like, there's certain things that you do in your single season that is different to your relationship season or when you're in a marriage. I guess with that in mind, for me, in terms of maximizing my singleness, I think the first thing for me is just knowing who I am and just being really comfortable in that. So, and that is a journey of self-discovery, I think. So knowing what your likes are, what your dislikes are, what your passion is, what your burdens are, things that you really enjoy doing, your personality type as well. That is a really big thing for you to be aware of, the kind of personality you carry, because when you do think about getting into a relationship or marriage, like knowing that person's personality and how it kind of aligns and fits to yours is important as well. And purpose, I think, like knowing your, and we've touched on this in previous previous podcast episode, like walking in purpose, knowing your purpose. I don't think there's necessarily one purpose thing, but like just walking in that and living in that. I think that for me is how I would define maximize, like one of the ways I would define maximizing my singleness.
Yeah,
I like that.
I do. And I think on the subject of like knowing who you are, that's definitely like one of my biggest take homes from like being single, and especially like in your 20s. I know I've spoken to all of you guys about the journeys of like you go through in your 20s, and I think to a certain extent might be harder than your teenage years. I think your 20s, like...
I don't think anybody could be harder than your teenage years.
No, like, because I think your 20s, it's such, like, you're living away from home for the first time if you're out for uni, then you have to, like, try and navigate the real world. There's just so many things coming at you so quickly that actually when you are able to just fully just concentrate on you, you can navigate those things without the burden of having to think of, do I need to stay a like consistent way for this person that has met me at this point in my life? You can actually evolve and fully become comfortable in who you are. So when you do step into a relationship, you know, cool, this is who I am. And like, obviously, even in a relationship, you do grow. Maybe not change is the word, but you do grow. But like not having to worry about this person met me as this, so I need to stay consistently like this. I think it's quite good. But also for me, in terms of like, I think career is like one of the big things as well, to be able to just like fully just figure out what you want to do with your career, what that looks like. And not having a family allows you to just switch and change. You can do that because you're not like, worst comes to worst, you know, like it's just you that you have to fend for. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I know so many of my friends who like mid to late 20s have undergone like completely like drastic career changes. And you can do that in your 20s.
You got the freedom to do
You
it.
do. You have
Exactly.
the freedom.
I say in your 20s when you're single, because, you know, there isn't a kid being like, Mummy, I need to eat. Do you get what I mean?
It's
like,
true. It's true.
you can do that.
Yeah.
So I guess like those are all the really serious things, but also just like living life.
Yeah.
Don't need to be accountable to nobody. Like, do you know what I mean? I
Nobody
can go
don't
out.
hold me down.
Exactly. Come back home at 4 a.m. I can decide to jump on a flight tomorrow. Do you get what I
No
mean?
one's looking there going, what are you doing coming at this time?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
What did you do, Dwayne?
Those are the days.
Dwayne was out
Those were the
partying.
The only person I was really like worried after me was my mum. basically.
Yeah.
So it was like if I rolled in at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting her. I was enjoying my life.
How old were you when you got married?
Expand on that. What did that enjoyment entail?
With me enjoying my time out there was just partying.
In the streets.
I actually in the streets, you know. No one was on them corners. No one was on them corners. No, it was just. It was able to be like when I was single. If my phone rang, and someone was like, "Oh, go, can you come out?" Of course I can. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to check in. But now it's like, okay.
What's in the calendar?
Like literally, like if you see my calendar, it's literally blue and yellow all over it. And half of that's not even me. It's Darius and Pam. I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, legit. It's being single. Yeah, just being single. It was just a free time.
Yeah.
It was free. It was and to enjoy, like, I could say being single was the freest time.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
say. It was just like you didn't have to worry about it. But then you do have that worry as well. There is the worry of, later on in life, kind of like setting up and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I feel like I got locked out. Like
Dwayne's like reminiscing, boy.
I just got locked out.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
How old were you when you got married?
I got married 2015.
Okay, how old are you now?
I'm 33 now. Someone do the math quick.
7 years ago.
I'll just wait.
Yeah, 7 years ago.
26.
Yeah,
26.
26.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
Pam
that
got-
actually.
Yeah, Pam got married when she was 24. Yes.
So
Yeah.
when you look
Wow,
at
really?
like your journey up until 26, and then you compare it to some of your friends who got married a little bit later, like 29, 30, 31, do you think you missed out on anything in your
I can't
single?
say that I have. And the
period?
thing is, by the time I was ready to get married, I was already fed up of being out there. Like, no, it was legit. Like I was
That's
able.
good.
So before I got married, I was clubbing,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I met Pam and all that, I was still going out with Pam. Like I was going out to clubs, and I was still being able to live my life regardless, innit?
Mm-hmm.
As being with someone, but able to still have my own freedom because there wasn't that responsibility until we got serious, and that's where everything started to, like, the calendar started. Oh, I can't go here because I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. So yeah, it was like, it was calm.
So you don't think you missed out on anything getting married at 26?
At 26, I don't think I did.
Okay.
I don't think I did, except for lads' holidays. But I don't like going on holiday with anybody else except for Pam.
That's so cute.
No, G.
Oh
I
my
wish
God.
Tolu was here. Tolu would literally be like, oh god.
You're gonna hear him shout from the living room in a minute.
It's true. It's true.
Tads, what about you?
I think it's so crazy because actually you guys have pretty much said everything. But one thing that I will say is I remember being like 16 and having planned everything about what my life was going to be. Oh, I'm going to be married by this age. Oh my God, my wedding dress is going to be like this. Oh, this and that. And then you kind of have that as a little bit of a pressure. And then not pressure because you're still having fun. I did so many things. Music. I went, college days were fun. I was doing youth club tours, MCing, you know what I mean? I had a whole time when I was doing music videos with some artists, like big artists. Like when I just look back,
there's proof there. There's proof.
no, the
Look
thing
for
is
it.
that Tolu sometimes thinks that I'm just saying things.
The thing is,
But we've seen
He's
these
always
videos,
the
you
one
know?
that says it, but I don't want to name drop anything. But,
Okay,
Okay,
Tats. All right.
Tats.
Okay, I see
no, we
you.
had fun. I was doing music, So I did so many things that I kind of just look back and I think, gosh, if I wasn't single, some of the things that I then did, would I have been able to do those things? I remember when I was then because there's a clear difference between when I was then in a relationship, like a long-term relationship, and the things I was able to do when I then wasn't. I was able to see very clearly what the difference was. And that's not to say that when you're in a relationship, you can't do things, but some of the things that I did still want to be doing, I kind of didn't then do them. Now, that's not only because I was in a relationship, that was because I think I still had to grow, because when you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you need to then stop doing or stop being who you are.
100%.
And that comes from growth, right? So it took me a minute to kind of then know who I am.
Yeah.
And every situation helped me to learn more about myself, I say situation, but every relationship, whether it be a friendship, because you learn a lot from friendships too.
Yeah.
Relationships with boyfriends, sorry mom, but any boyfriend that I had, I left that relationship learning a little bit more about what I like,
Yeah.
who I am, what I don't like, what I want to see in a person.
What
Now-
you type on paper.
Yes. You see, I remember I wrote a list about what I wanted. And when I
type
looked
on
at that
paper.
list, I
Good
said,
old
wow,
list.
what kind of a list is this?
list.
I did write
Yeah.
one and then I wrote a different
I've
one
ripped
because,
it up.
boy, it was
Wait,
not
there's
okay.
so many questions I have.
That list didn't make sense. He has to dress nice. Like, you can't buy him clothes. Like, do you know what I
Wait,
mean?
you would buy him clothes?
Why not?
With his money, yeah.
I can stop. Like, I had a thing. Oh,
Wait, hold on a
on
sec.
my list, my old
How?
list had that he has to have swag. I can give him the swag. Like, you know when you now
Okay,
go
I
and
see-
later,
I see what you're
some
saying.
nice lads,
Swag.
like, no,
I see what
it
you're
doesn't have to
saying.
be the only
No,
That doesn't
thing.
have to be a deal
but
breaker.
It can't be a deal breaker.
I see that. Because that can be worked on.
can be
I see
worked
what
on.
she's
That can't be
saying.
a
you
deal
can,
breaker.
you can buy. No, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but there's
Okay.
a difference between buying someone clothes and them being able to pull it off.
No,
Like you can
but
buy
I'm
someone clothes and they're still there's
Yeah,
just
but-
no
Yeah,
but she
swag
can
in them
style
at
I'm
him.
saying that I
all.
will style
She can,
you.
yeah, she can style
Okay.
him
I can
and
style
put it together.
You know, that's it. We look at what kind of vibe you're on, and style you
hasn't
small.
written a list.
But it's not even that
Possibly.
deep. You probably have a list mentally. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
'Cause
I don't
I've-
even have
I've
that
ripped
list
up my
anymore.
list.
Why
And
did
then
you rip up your list?
Because I felt like there was a lot of superficial points in it.
Very much so.
And that comes with maturity as
It
well.
comes with
Right,
That's
maturity.
it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I
And
just had
honestly,
to, you know,
On that list that I had,
start from scratch.
I don't think that there was anything there that said he must love Jesus more than he loves
always,
me.
do you know what? That's
If
always
it's
like
given,
starting point.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
it's
wanted
not
him to
there,
be
Yeah.
no,
because
but
without that,
No,
there's
but
no
it's
like
reason.
all
no,
bricks and
I
clothes.
wanted him
Would
to
you
be
ask that question
Christian.
on a date though?
But yes,
No,
100%.
That's
Sorry.
the thing. You
I'm
Do
not
you
gonna
love
date
Jesus?
with
I won't
you
even go on a date
if you're not-
before.
yeah.
You're,
If
yes.
You're not a
Exactly.
Christian. Yeah,
Yes.
we're not.
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? But like for me,
So Christian
I-
is your number one on the list.
100%.
I mean, I mean,
It is.
It's a
I'm
given.
saying that now, but there definitely have been points in my life where I've been on dates. I've been on a few dates and I realized, oh, you're really not a Christian, so
Yes.
this can't go any
Okay.
further. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
But now I don't have time for that.
At all.
I need to
At
know.
all.
You need to see the credentials.
But even,
I just,
yeah.
just like starting point, because I know if you're not a Christian, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
So
100%.
What's the
I
point
get
of
you, I get
wasting
Yeah.
your money or my money?
That's the way, but that's the way
And
that I
time.
see
Wasting
it.
your money on this date.
Money and time. Honestly, I don't just want. You know, some people will tell you just go and eat.
And when I
No.
said
No,
your money,
I'm actually okay. There's racks at home. It's actually okay. It's fine.
Have
Like
you
I
seen that
don't need
book?
to.
Have you seen that book?
No.
Right,
What
right
book?
at home. No. Darius got it for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
That is right.
There is rice at home. I just feel like why am I wasting my
Yeah,
time?
fair enough.
But there is a slight difference in the type of. It probably sounds bad if I say it as the type of Christian, but I had Christian on there. But you know, it's different if somebody who loves Jesus, who loves God more than they love you. That kind of love is different to just being
Yeah.
Christian by
Christian.
word,
Yeah.
by your app.
it's
But
not,
Hinge
it's
app-
not really.
I've got
You
the
just
Bible
got
my
Christian
phone.
on your
I'm
app
Christian.
there.
Yeah.
But you're not actually pursuing this relationship with God. Because the thing is that
Rachel's
I
looking very
find
confused right now.
No. Keep going, please.
No, the
Please
thing-
go. Keep going.
the thing that I find is I'm trying to be on this trajectory of going forward, of learning more. I'm in the midst of people who are trying to know more about God, who are really trying to build that relationship, trying to build the kingdom. If you're not really on that vibe and you don't get it, you're gonna be somebody who might be trying to you're either pulling me back or you're not encouraging me on this journey and you're not trying to be on this journey. Although there's some people who you can pull onto the journey, which is great if you're willing,
9
right?
times out of 10, it doesn't work.
9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. That's it. You know what I mean? So now my mental is sometimes some people at work will be like, oh, we're gonna go and do this. They said it the other day. They said, we're going to go and do speed dating, or I'm going to hook you up with somebody at this place. And I'm like, okay, for banter, because I know wherever you're going speed dating, there ain't nobody there that
you haven't
I'm
been
going
speed dating.
to be on. I remember back in the day, I did go.
Mad.
It's actually
a
very
mad
crazy experience.
Mad experience.
It's so, these things are just so, to me now, I'm just like, this is actually, it. For real, when I said it's just for banter,
It is just
it
for
would
banter.
only be for
Yeah,
banter
yeah.
because what I try to say to them is, I'm not picky, but trust me, whoever you're bringing to me, I know you. Whoever you're bringing to me, I know it's not going to be somebody that's my spec. Please, I beg.
But hold on, is that always true though? Because obviously these people feel closely enough to you and kind of know you.
No,
And
but
like
the thing is,
you,
so
maybe they know someone else like you.
They
but
might,
if they're taking you
but
speed
do
dating,
they?
and they're not. They don't know you.
I don't know if they do know me like that.
Speed
They
dating,
know I go
anybody
to
can sign
Bible
up.
study every Thursday, but do they really know how? Because for some people, they do think, oh, he just has to be, oh, he's a Christian.
Yeah.
He goes to church with his grandma.
On
It
Christmas.
sounds like he's a right.
Okay.
It just sounds like he's giving her a lift there.
All
and
right.
back.
Like, but what does he believe?
Yeah.
What's his
Yeah.
heart saying?
But you'll never know that until you actually get
That's
like
right.
even if
Yeah.
you have like a conversation along those lines in the sort of talking stages, like before you even go on a date. Like until, and I believe as Christians, you can never really know what someone's journey is or what someone's relationship with God is until you actually start walking with them. And the Bible says that by their fruits you'll know them.
Yep.
So
That's
you
true.
can start off with
That's
the
true.
best of intentions, and people who like I try very much to, you guys know me, I have this thing about like people who are just like Christian. It's not who I am. Like I am a Christian, and I hope that like my life reflects that. But like people who every other word is like their quote, every other sentence is quote in the Bible.
Yeah.
Not me.
They just sound like, I've spoken to people like that before.
And
Praise God. You're just saying hello.
Jesus.
And they're like, praise Jesus, the day is good. Yes, he is good.
He's
But
really
just say
good.
hi.
So like I really try to like stay away from people like that. But I think if you say that you're a Christian and you know you believe in Jesus, then I think for me that's a starting point to actually explore. And I think sometimes like when, especially like Christian dating, you can get so fixated on are you a Christian
Yeah.
that the conversation is just that.
Yeah.
But who are you?
Who
That's
are
it.
you?
Who
Yeah.
are you?
It's
What
true.
else
Yeah,
are you
what
doing with your
else?
life? And for
Yeah.
me, that's like, you spoke about purpose. And I think that's like one of the most important things to me right now, because I think as long as you have a relationship with Jesus and you're looking to build on that, I'm not
Yes.
really too fussed on where you are, because I don't
Yes.
think I'm necessarily the strongest Christian, but actually what is more important to me, equally as important to me, is your purpose, and making sure that our purpose for our lives, if we're going to end up together, is aligned.
Yes.
And we are working towards that. Because I think in working towards that, you automatically grow in your faith
Yes.
anyway. So that's the most important thing for me now. Just what you doing with your
What
life.
you doing?
Yes.
What you doing?
Yes.
Fam,
So
what
you're
you
forming
doing,
your
fam?
list, small. You're
Oh, my
forming
list is there, I
The
guess.
list
Like,
is
I know
there.
my
It's
list is
Just
mental.
there.
put it on paper.
Yeah. I don't want to be that girl.
Turn up on Love Island, like my type on paper.
paper.
Nah, sorry, I don't write on paper.
Can you imagine if I turned up to Love Island and I wrote my like none of them?
No one
They'll
there.
just be
Not a
like,
single one in there.
No.
Honestly,
I can
no
tell you that
one's
from now.
no one's my type. What's your type? Dark eyes, dark features.
tall, dark, and handsome, but actually tall, dark, and handsome. I actually need to stop.
I do. Sometimes I think about just shocking everybody and just being on Love Island one day. You guys just switch over and you're just like, what
Wow.
is this one doing?
I would literally be like, her house must have burned down because her list is gone.
Literally.
my
Nah.
goodness.
Never. Can't do that.
I
Can't do
cannot
that.
to myself.
Can't even go and waste time like that at all.
Yeah.
At all. So
He's just saying I'm speaking wisdom. That's what he said.
I can't even see it from here.
Really?
legit, because it's black on white, isn't it? So I can't see it properly.
Isn't that the most contrast? Shouldn't you be able to see it?
It blurs more
Even
than
with-
if it was on black writing on white paper.
Let's see, people who don't wear glasses
People really
don't
be
understand.
suffering.
They think that I just got.
I
20/20
do wear
because these guys-
glasses. I wear glasses.
Do you? But
Yes.
you're not. Are you wearing contacts right now?
No.
Oh, then
See,
you
your
don't wear
eyes aren't that
glasses
bad.
then.
You don't wear glasses like that.
Yeah, you're
You're not in our camp.
Legit. Every day I wake
Every
up, I put
day.
this on to walk to the bathroom.
No.
Seriously.
No,
How we
no.
do?
Levels.
No, for real.
I don't do that, but legit, if I've walked around the house a little bit, I'm like, nah, I think I
It's
can't
not
see,
clear.
you know?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
clear.
My prescription
It's only
is
because
like
you
plus
know where you're going.
I don't even know what my prescription is, but it's not
Swimming, you guys take it for granted.
Oh, swimming is. I can't
Swimming.
imagine how you do that if you can't see.
I could swim all right. I could open
You're
my
just
eyes
like-
underwater and
You can, yeah, but you can't really see. It's not clear. Sorry, I don't know how we got here, but yeah, it's not clear.
it is, but it isn't. But you know,
Okay.
Man,
His comment was, "Preach, Rachel. Purpose for the win. The bar is so low these days."
it is so low
It
these
is.
days. Honestly, it
It
really is. And do you think that is because in people's singleness, people are not actually? I feel like one of the pastor who preached today at my church, her message was so good today actually, and she mentioned about the girls always being taught how to be prepared and what to do in their singleness. She was like, you need to teach the boys,
100%.
teach the men as well, because then when we now are ready for that, it's slim pickings.
Yeah.
It's slim pickings out here.
that is true. Because I've had
It
this
is.
conversation prior as well, because we were talking about, I can't remember if it was with you guys, but it was like, why don't we teach the young men to actually be young men?
Mhm.
And the thing, I grew up in a household of women only, so I'm great, but
Auntie,
Okay.
auntie.
nah, legit. I'm the son your mom's wished
All right.
they had, you know
Okay.
what I mean? But yeah, legit, like
Again, auntie.
Verify.
Please verify for us, auntie. Please verify for us. Continue, yes,
but
yes.
as in, like it would be great to be able to. Well, I'm talking now as an elder. Like you should be. Like,
I'm
bringing-
sorry. What is
No, as
happening?
in bringing up as a no, an elder, as an older.
No,
Okay.
yes, you're older now. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
older. I'm not that in the
Honourable.
church. I don't think I would ever get an elder position in a church.
You don't know that. I feel like trust yourself,
Never
man.
know, yeah.
Trust
I
God,
could
man.
try. But yeah, like Darius, now he'll get taught how to respect women, how to treat women, and I will bring him up in the right way. Do you know what I mean? But even like my mum brought me up in the right way, but there's a lot of people, even the guys at church, would kind of just be at church, but out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
won't. They
Yeah.
won't be. They're not as they say. Oh yeah, go to church. You'll find a wonderful Christian boy. No,
No
you
one's
won't.
ever said that.
Oh,
It is. You'll
Come to
find a
church.
good
Come to church.
Christian girl. I've never heard a good Christian man.
You should
I mean,
come
I'm
to
not gonna
church.
lie, I haven't heard it either, but
I've heard.
I was
it's
rolling
not
with it. I
true.
was rolling with it. I was rolling with you.
So, what do you guys think? Like, so I know we're gonna come back and talk about the kingdom, but what should people be actually doing to maximize their singleness, especially men? It's a shame you're not single because we can't. Like, it's in this day and age. What?
I don't. The thing, I actually don't. I couldn't say. As I said, literally yesterday when we had the conversation with Tolu and Pam and them, and it was like legit. I was like, I don't think I could be single
Today,
now.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
I had this conversation with my friend
Interesting.
as well
Like,
yesterday.
Like legit.
Where's that then?
like life right now is too online for me.
I
Like
hear you.
there isn't. I could go out there now and just find some there's too much options, and that's where it's crazy.
I think there's also a lot of pressure about being show. Every other day someone's posting literally everything, you know, like they post when another thing in being in your singleness and kind of maximizing it is comparing yourself to others who are also single. Like, oh, this person bought a house now. They posted it, as you've said. They posted it. Oh, crap. I need to be doing that as well. They've bought a new car. I need to buy a new car. They've done this. I need to do that. It literally is difficult to even just be. So actually, those things, you're fighting to make sure that you seem like in your singleness, you are living your best life and actually doing the most. Like, look at me, I'm single and I'm doing, I'm winning at being single. I'm winning in this, you know? That pressure to even be winning takes your focus away from building yourself as a Christian who's building the kingdom. That also does that.
But alongside that, I think it's such a weird paradox, the right word. Like this whole, I really, really dislike social media. I don't think I can say it enough. But like in that whole, you want to look like you're winning. But then there's this this thing also where people actually want to be in a relationship, but online you act like strong independent woman. I don't need nothing. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, no, to me anyway, no one is really living, I can't say you're living in your truth, but like no one is representing themselves accurately. And I understand that that's what social media is.
But it's just your CV, isn't it? Like legit, you bulk
it out. It's your highlight.
Yeah.
It is definitely your highlight.
The good, the bad, the ugly. It's literally the good. Yeah. There's no
literally
balance to it because people just pick and choose what they want you to see of them, which is what we need to stay mindful of when we are on. I know you're not on social media, but when you are on social media and you're seeing different posts, like you need to be aware that people post what they want you to see. People can be posting their life, but all you know, they're in debt. They're in a bad relationship. But they're posting a completely different story. So I think we need to be mindful of that. But I think Instagram and social media can be used for good. It depends on like what you use it for, how you use it, and not allowing yourself
as well.
How you consume it. 100%.
Say that, not allowing yourself to get sucked into that, because you can easily just waste time being on it and like watching other people live their lives and comparison, like you said.
It's like, oh, I haven't done this, and this person's 2 years younger than me. And they're like,
it's honestly a thing.
Honestly,
of joy.
I remember at school this and that. Do you know what? Just live your own.
Honestly, you need.
But coming back to your question, and we've got a comment here from Pam. On what we were saying before, there's a big focus on making sure your daughter is ready for the outside world and being mindful on how they carry themselves around men. But I agree that we need to give the same energy to our sons.
100%. Yes, 100%.
That energy needs to be there for males on how to be better men. Not necessarily like better husbands or better
just be a
partners.
decent human being.
A decent human being, because we need them in this world. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say.
Let's
not.
Oh, they are
bash them.
definitely out
there.
They are there.
Oh, for God's sake, Dwayne. You started it. No, I wasn't pointing at him to say him. No, I was saying, I was agreeing.
Mentally, she was.
Guy.
I felt it.
I was gonna say,
please come and collect your husband. I'm tired of it.
Gosh.
I was gonna say another thing in answer to your question on like how to maximize.
Okay,
How do you maximize your singleness? I think you mentioned a key word for me, like building. Whatever that looks like for you, I feel like you should be focused on building. Whether it's like you want to progress in a certain skill and you commit to building on that skill, learning and growing, or whether it's await journey that you want to commit to. You build on that, you commit to that. Anything that you've just set in your mind that you want to achieve, I feel like that's a big part of maximizing your singleness as well, because you're not necessarily waiting for someone to come into your life to then start that journey.
Yes.
And in more often than not, I feel like, and you were saying it before in terms of alignment, you already need to be on that path for your paths to
merge,
intersect, and you can now, you know, go forwards because you're both already in that journey. So I feel like that's a really important thing. Like, just build, grow, learn. If you need to learn, pick up a new skill, do it. If you want to travel the world, do it. If you want to learn more about the Bible and God, do it. If you want to learn to sing, do it. If you want to do music, if you want to put out video, do it. Like, don't put your life on hold. Because I feel like many people do that. I'm waiting for a husband.
I've been guilty before
I buy a house, or I'm waiting for a husband before I travel the world. Girl, do you?
Go up.
Do you?
Guys,
Guys, do you?
That's so true. Honestly, so true.
It might be very few and far between, but there is a lot of guys in the same boat that they can't find a partner. And they're looking, and it's like, just like you guys can't find the good guys, they can't find the good girls. You know what I mean?
I mean,
you're not.
I just feel like it's like naturally, there's just more girls available.
There is, 100% there is a lot
there's
more.
just more of us.
Yeah.
So if you boil it down to the maths, like
100% there'll be like, the ratio is
the ratio's
it's
off. The ratio is off. It's off.
It's off.
Okay, so I'll just go back again. So the next question is about being happy, being single. So I remember I said to you guys something about what Paul had said, which was same chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, where verse 8, where he says, to the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is good for them to remain single as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. That's one of the things that we already spoke about. But are you happy being single?
Before we go to
can
I just ask, did we talk about what the kingdom part? Or are we coming back to that?
Yeah, we're still gonna come back to it.
Fine.
Yeah, we're still gonna come back to it.
Ignore me. I didn't say anything. Are we happy being single?
Yes.
I think for me, yes. So for me, for the most part of my 20s, probably up until like 26, like I wasn't looking for a relationship. I literally did not care less about I did not care. Like, I dated people, but I was genuinely living my best life. I was very content in being single. And I've just never been that person that has been overtly looking for a relationship.
Yes.
It's always been, if it happens, then yes, then that's fine. And it's always been, I don't know what it is, but there's always been something in me that's just been like, that knows how a bad relationship can completely just derail you. And the fear of that has always prevented me from like actively, I guess in like the first part of my 20s, from actively looking for a relationship or like just entering into something that just didn't feel right. Over the last few years, I've been a bit more like aware of the fact that I think this is like what I need, like the next stage of my life to be, and this is what I want now. So I think there's a part of me that's like, okay, I want this to happen now, which can sometimes, when it's not happening, or like you date people and it doesn't work out, you have those moments where you're just like, oh, this is rubbish. And it does make you feel like,
all this bad.
Exactly.
This is love, fam.
Love it. I have no more talking stages left in me.
Literally.
You go through that. But I think for the most part, I'm so happy in the woman that I am now.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's yeah,
And
man.
I'm really content.
Malaka,
So I think it's just, I'm happy in who I am. Of course, I really want this, but I'm just gonna keep living.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
I can't come and kill myself.
can't
man.
come and kill yourself.
No,
I not marry. I not keep person.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's
I like
to say
that.
I'm not. It doesn't mean I don't want it, but I'm happy.
But you're happy,
You're
yeah.
content in what you are.
Content in where you are
the word.
in
Yeah.
this part of your journey.
season.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
season. Thank you very much.
But
in
God
this
can also
season.
speed it
Yeah.
up, you know.
You hear me?
You heard? This is the roll. Bim.
I just echo what Rachel said. Like,
Yeah.
I am happy, but very happy, in fact.
Yeah.
Very happy. Like, and I feel like I mentioned earlier, I've just been on this journey of self-discovery and just like living in that and just experiencing who I am. And that has just been so amazing, liberating for me. And I just know that, you know, when that time does come, that season of getting into a relationship and marriage, ultimately, that's going to be another season that is amazing and is happy. But what I'm not going to do is not live in this current season because I'm wanting or waiting or willing for God to bring my man.
Yes.
It is a desire of my heart, absolutely. I won't say that it's not. But at the same time, I'm very conscious of living in the now and embracing the now, like celebrating my wins, which I feel like I don't do enough sometimes because I'm always onto like the next.
And I think just as women, it's not really in our nature to fully celebrate our wins.
Yeah.
Sorry, we digress.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, and like just stop and smell the roses sometimes, you know? And I feel like it's gonna happen. It's gonna be beautiful. And also at the same time, I want to be proactive and make sure that I am positioning myself and preparing myself for that season. Because like with any other thing, if you want something, there's a plan, there's like certain steps that you have to take to kind of work towards that plan. So I'm not saying like I'm not saying be passive or like just sit in your house and trust that God will bring your husband to you. I am saying like be proactive and all that, but at the same time I'm just not letting it be all consuming because that's not the be all and end all of life. You know, there's so many things that I feel like God wants me to do and take like a journey that he wants to take me on that doesn't involve relationship, doesn't involve having a partner. Yeah. So you've just got to be comfortable in that and just trust that at the right time.
Yeah.
And like it's really weird because like I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very a type A personality. Like if I can do something, I want to do it.
Yeah.
I like
What's
control.
type A?
Like very controlling and very like perfectionist.
So is
and
there like different types, like B, C, D?
go away.
I'm just asking for a friend. I don't know.
I guess there are. But
there is like a
people
type
only really
B. There must
speak
be.
about type A.
Is that less controlling?
Yes.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Must be.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, it's
Google
like.
that.
But yeah, no, like everything in my life that I can, and it's really weird because obviously we say we should just leave it to God, but everything in my life that I can control, I will do everything I can to like push things in the right direction.
But in the Bible, doesn't it say God will help those who help themselves? As
No,
in, like,
It
actually
actually
doesn't
doesn't.
say
That's a
that.
saying.
but it's, like,
That's
literally,
a saying
just-
that
I'm just
I don't know where it
asking,
came
like,
from, but
No, I
don't
know.
Like, I've been
I
hearing that from-
definitely questioned it and I looked it up and it
It's
wasn't
not in the
there.
Bible.
it's not there. It's not in the Bible. Yeah.
That's getting
But
taken
I'm
out of
sure there
Bible
are other
verse.
things in the
Funnily
Bible
enough,
that
it's
probably
actually
alludes
different
to,
to
that.
what we are meant to rest on.
On-
We're supposed to allow God to help us
also-
too,
there's
right?
an element of that, but there's also like parts that we play and parts that God plays,
Yes.
right? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, you know, whoever wants to build a house, who I'm paraphrasing, but first you'll sit down, make a plan, and then build the house. So
Yeah.
it's basically implying that you need to have a plan. You need to have, you know, something that you're writing down and you're working towards. But as well as that, God also has his part to play in your life. He's not going to do things that you need to do. Like in the Bible, when God told Noah to build the ark, God didn't come down himself and build the ark. He gave Noah the instructions to build the ark. So it's like a partnership. Noah had his part to play. God has his part to play. So I get where the saying kind of comes from, but verbatim, that's not in the Bible.
Yeah, it's not there like
It's not in the Bible.
And also the thing is that we're supposed to be walking with God, so that whatever we do is aligned with what he wants us to be doing too. So when you're taking a decision, as we are walking and as our heart becomes becomes his heart, it is the desire that his desires become our desires, and what we do is what he wants us to do and stuff like that. So we don't take steps that I always pray, God, don't let my feet take me where you don't want me to go. Because very often our feet take us where God's like, bro, where are you going? Why are you like, fam? Have you seen that girl? She's very, very funny. She's a Instagram influencer, but a Christian one. And she does like these different videos where sometimes she'll ask God, but he seems kind of cool. And then God's like, he's not the one for you. And she's like, but he's kind of nice, you know, like, can we? And he's like, God's like, no, I've told you it's a no. So she's like, is that a maybe? And then God's like, no, it's a no. And then she's like, I'll see for myself. Which is literally what we do.
It's true.
That's what we do. God is like, do not go there.
I shouldn't do this. And you're looking around. Let the clock fall off the wall. I didn't thought I'm gonna go do it then.
You know, so that's literally that. But I think even to answer the thing, I did used to be in a place where I not that I wasn't happy, but I wasn't I was looking for that end goal, that to reach that milestone so much. I've been a bridesmaid. I want to write a book about being a bridesmaid actually, because I've been a bridesmaid so many times. So obviously all of my age group, my friends, they've all gone to this part of their lives. They've crossed this what was it? This line. They've gone over. They've gone to the other side, you know? And I was like, oh, gosh, I don't have the house. I don't have this. I don't have that. And it was really quite negative. I figured that this is before anyway, that was the thing that was going to define me. And it's not easy when that's the only thing that others always ask you about as well. And that's the only thing that they want you to do too. No one asks you, your friends do, but like in church and stuff, it's not about, oh, what is this? What's the new thing that you're doing now? Or, you know, how's work? What's your, you know, like, what's your goals? It's like, it's never those questions. It's always, so what's going on with that? You know? So it kind of even reinforces that, oh, crap, I'm not there yet. Yeah. So, and that there's something that I'm lacking because I'm not there yet. But then, you know what? I kind of just said to myself, I cannot, like this, I can't just live like this. I have to do things. When you were saying about stopping yourself from doing certain things, I used to be the person that was like, I'm going to be at home. I'll buy my house when I move out with my husband. Like that was literally one of the things that was in my mind. You know, I'm saving to buy the house with my husband. Then I thought, why am I planning for something that hasn't even happened yet? Live your life.
Yeah.
Live your life.
Live your life based on where you are at now. So I kept trying to, and I kept looking more forward. And it's good to look forward and plan, but I was then planning for a situation that hadn't happened yet.
That you have no control
that
over.
I have no control of. Yeah. So actually, let me plan to buy the house myself. Who's to say that when my partner comes, he hasn't already bought a house, and then maybe this house we now rent it out, or we buy another house together. Why do you have to wait? If that's what you want to do, do that.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to do the music, do that. Whoever, I was thinking, oh, but my partner might not like me doing music. If I'm already doing music, he's either going to have to take it or he doesn't take it. Simple.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's where he
that's
goes.
just how it has to be. That's how you met me. You know?
Right.
So now I will say sometimes those tinches do kind of creep in sometimes, but I'm like, get out of here, boy. Get thee behind me. We don't gotta, get out of here, Now I am very much so like, I am happy in doing all the things that I'm doing. I'm trying to work on my 7 streams of income. I'm investing. I've got my nail business. I've got like all these things that I'm just like, it's literally, if you're coming into my life, you're like, rah, you've got a lot going on. How do you even have time to even have a relationship? So, don't worry. Like,
your bride price has just quadrupled.
Listen,
You don't know?
yesterday's price is
It's
not
not
today's price.
Let me tell you. It's not.
It's not today's price. Thank you.
We do have a couple comments here.
Yes.
Celine is saying, that's it. You have to keep on living your life until it happens. That's it. That's
it.
it. Don't
That
put your
is
life
it.
on pause. Hannah's saying faith without works is dead, is probably similar to what Dwayne is saying. Also, the saying that you were saying. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That is in the Bible. Faith without works is dead.
I think that's the verse I was looking at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one.
So I remember I had said something. We've been talking about kind of being content in your singleness and the desire. I had this thing where I said it to you guys a few times actually, and you guys kind of were like, girl, that's not it. But I want to say it now because I know that there's still some people out there who probably think like this. And it's about, every time I did used to read this Corinthians 7, I did used to feel like, oh, maybe what God is saying to us is that not all of us are supposed to be married. Some of us are supposed to just be single. And so I used to then just think, oh, what if I'm not even supposed to be married? This one that I'm always thinking about, this thing. I might have to just come to terms with the fact that marriage is just not on the books for me. And you guys check me on that. So because people have that thought, I want you guys to kind of, you guys then say what that is, what that is really about, like, what do you guys actually think about that? Is that the right mentality to have? Or, what is God's desire for us when it comes to being single, basically, and remaining single?
I think with this one, it's one thing we have to remember is marriage is a gift from God. Like, marriage is an institution that God created. So for someone to have that desire is not bad. It's not ungodly. Like, it's an indication that you're actually wanting something that God has created in your life. And like for you, when you've said that in the past, that, what if it's just not for me? That stems from, correct me if I'm wrong, it hasn't happened yet. As opposed to, that's actually my desire not to be married. And I think that's where the difference comes in, because I feel like people that it's not written in their books to be married, they know. They feel it. They know that it's not even, it doesn't cross their mind that, I want to be married. I want to like, they know it's set in stone for them. Like, they and God, they know that that's not in their books. But for someone that it's your desire, it's your heart's desire. And I mentioned this scripture on the team meeting. I think it's Psalm 37:4, that it says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. I believe that God will honor that, as you're honoring God, as you're walking in your relationship with him and you're delighting yourself in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. We need to trust what the word says. So if it's your desire to be married, then trust that God is going to meet that desire. But I feel like when it becomes, oh, okay, maybe it's not for me because it hasn't happened or because of the disappointment, that for me is rooted in almost pain or disappointment or resentment to the fact that I thought this was going to happen and it wasn't going to happen. I'd rather you focus on, okay, this is what the word says. Like, find scriptures on marriage and just speak those over your life and meditate on those scriptures as opposed to meditating on what you can see with your eyes, because I feel like that could possibly change your perspective as well. But what I'm just saying is, those that know, and those that desire it, I feel like God will honor that desire.
What about the people who do desire it and it doesn't happen for them? I know it's a tough question. We don't even have to have an answer for that.
It is a tough
I don't
question.
think anybody can answer that really and truly.
Yeah, it is a tough question.
Maybe it just, I'll say, maybe it wasn't them, wasn't for them, but
we just said, so we don't have to answer it, but
it
it's
is
something
a
to
tough
think
question.
about. It's a tough question.
Yeah.
Is it that it hasn't happened or it hasn't happened yet? Because I think there's also an element of, I don't know actually. Okay, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, but at the risk of sounding like, Christians who just believe that everything is possible, but like, you don't actually like know that this thing is going to happen, right? I think there is a point where we expect marriage to happen by. So if you are at the age of 40, at the age of 50 and marriage hasn't happened, what's to say that a lot of people will just conclude by that point that marriage hasn't happened? Do you get what I mean?
And then they maybe start now behaving as though they're no longer open. If that makes sense.
You get what I mean?
So you now
Yeah.
can't allow anyone who's supposed to maybe come in because you're now closed.
So just because, like you said, just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But I know that is like a definite cop-out answer. I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Sometimes you see, we don't always know everything, guys.
Yeah.
We're working
I don't
through
know.
things.
Put in the
ourselves.
comments, if
do
you guys
think?
have a take on that, what do you think?
Well, it kind of goes towards somebody always being made for someone, right? Sometimes maybe
your soulmate could be in Australia.
That's the question. Do we believe? Anyway, you know what? That's another question.
We
can go.
let's go
Because that is, I don't know. I was gonna,
I don't.
because we can, because I don't know if I should go that way or if we should. Let me look at the term. Maybe we should go into. We can maybe talk about that in the next episode, because I want us to go into being into us being single and preparing for the kingdom of God. Let's go into that.
No.
What do you guys want to do? I don't. I want us to go. I mean, we can go
Yeah.
there. I don't mind us doing one or the other, but I know that because of time, we should probably go to the one that we can close the conversation on. And then when we're talking about relationships, then talk about whether or not there's one person for all of us or if there's multiple people for all of us.
Yeah.
And about us finding them. I feel like that might be a good way to.
Yeah.
I think that might be good. The conversation's not over, guys. We got a few more weeks on this subject, But I know there was something you wanted to say before. And it's, basically about us in our singleness maximizing our singleness in the way that Paul said that we should. So, are we maximizing our singleness? Are we are we doing all we can do to chase after Jesus? Are we chasing after the Lord?
I'm chasing after you, no matter what I have to do.
Come on.
So did you know the song?
I do know the song.
He's just
but I'm
beatboxing.
I'm just not putting my my vocals out.
Okay.
All right.
Because no one paid him for it.
For that. Yeah.
I just did I not just say I said it? No one paid him for it.
That's what I'm saying. About
Sorry,
my money,
guys,
baby.
we can't afford Dwayne in his totality.
If my fans find out that I'm leaking like vocals outside,
Wow.
Okay.
No.
Someone really needs to check Dwayne's ego. It's getting ridiculous.
That's what you come in.
Legit. When I start getting up here,
Yeah,
Rachel's like,
Rachel's-
I come here, man.
So I mean, earlier my answer to that was no.
Yes.
But I think it depends on what we are defining building the kingdom as. I think the reason I said no is because I don't know. I just don't feel like.
You feel like you could be doing more.
I don't know. I just don't feel like the way you're on fight, like the way you like different people serve God. I don't think that's how I serve God. I don't think it's reflective. And I don't know whether that's because I should be doing more. And I probably should be doing more. But I think even doing something like this, like the Eden Ideal, I think is a way in which I guess you can say that we are building the kingdom. But it's not in the typical way that Christians would.
What is a typical
we
way?
should
that
exactly,
Christians
yeah.
would-
That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Is it now defined by somebody else? Is it not just what do you
Like,
think?
if
Are
I feel
you?
that I'm
Yeah.
doing all I
Do
can
you
do
feel like you're
by
doing all you
this,
can do to maximize
isn't that
your
me
singleness
creating-
in?
Yeah, so for me, there's obviously like just normal church. But also for me, outside of that, it is the thing about purpose again. Like, for me, I'm hoping and I believe that my life and like my career and my journey doesn't stop at where it is now. Ultimately, I want to be able to make a difference on a more global like platform in terms of my career. And I think in doing that stems from a place of the desire or the compassion that God has given to me for other people. And I think that is a way personally of building the kingdom. But it just doesn't look like what our aunties and uncles would expect it to look like, if that
And it
makes
doesn't
sense.
have
And it
to.
doesn't
It
have
doesn't
to.
have to. So that's where
Doesn't-
my
'cause,
initial
yeah.
no came from.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I guess that begs the question of what does building the kingdom look like? It's different for different people, right?
Because
Not everyone is going to be a
everybody's
pastor.
kingdom different. As in,
Yeah.
like, everybody's bit of kingdom is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You mean like
else's.
you mean like what your place in building the kingdom,
kingdom,
is
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Because I feel that I've done all, like, if I feel that I have done everything that I could do, then isn't that my completion of the kingdom?
Is it though?
That's the thing. Like, I feel that I've done everything that I could do until I'm told that, oh, you could do this, you could do that. Up until that point, I've done all that I can do.
Is building the kingdom only about you building? I feel like building the kingdom is also
Or what
not
I'm
only
doing.
just you doing, but also building your own relationship with, like, maximizing your singleness is also maximizing your relationship with God, right? So I feel like it's doing that stuff, but also doing what you need to do to maintain and build your relationship with God too. I mean, I think, and that's where I think that I'm
I think that's
lacking.
That's what I was about
You
to
know,
say.
because I could be doing at least, even if I do 10%, I don't think that I even give 10% of my time outside of Eden Ideal stuff and normal church stuff. I don't think that I am consistently giving 10%, at the very least, 10% of my time to God, to actually spending time reading the word, studying the word.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where I'm lacking and where I can be better,
I'm totally
you know?
with you, 100%.
So in maximizing my singleness in that way, I need to do more to maximize my
Because like Paul
singleness.
said, once you have a family,
Yeah,
kids, it's hard.
it's hard.
It-
So I
it
can't
gets
wait
a
to
lot.
do that, because
It
if
gets a lot.
if it's not in my system now,
Yeah.
how am I gonna carry that on
It's
in
true.
my
It's
family?
true.
No,
You know?
yeah, 100%. I'm with you.
And I think that's where building the kingdom stems from, like having a relationship with God. Because otherwise you can just be working,
Yeah.
thinking you're working for God, and God is really like, I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know me. You're just doing this to appear
Like you're-
godly
yeah.
or appear like, you know, you're doing a good thing, but really and truly, I don't know you. And I think that that's a big takeaway for all of us. Like, having your relationship with God, that's the center of everything. That's where you will find that's the barometer that you can use to see whether there's more I can do,
Yes.
or I need to pull back. Like,
Yes.
it's God guiding you in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everything you've mentioned, that is absolutely you building the kingdom. Like,
Mm.
God works in so many different ways. And I feel like sometimes we box him into, oh, I'm not a minister on a pulpit, so I'm not building the kingdom. No, God can like use you to build his kingdom in your 9-to-5 role, because you're reflecting his attributes, you're reflecting his love, you're
100%.
speaking life into someone, and someone sees that and they're like, oh, okay, that's different. I want to know more about that. Just like what we experienced with Tolu and his colleague recently. Like, that's a way of building the kingdom.
Yeah,
It may not look
100%.
like you're front and center,
Typical, yeah.
on in church, or like, you know, the pastor or the pastor's wife, but I feel like even in these spheres of influence that we're all in, we're meant to be like, we're representatives of God in those areas. But like you said, it all comes back to our relationship with God and spending time. And I feel like even me, like, that is something that I can improve on, like just spending that time, taking that time to study the word and just form questions and ask the Holy Spirit to guide me on those answers, and not always relying on a pastor to feed me. Like, having my own personal relationship, my own personal revelations. That's where all of this stems from. That is a foundation. If you don't have that, then it all comes tumbling down, really.
It does.
Can I ask Dwayne a question?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Because you're the only person on the panel who can give us both sides, right?
Yeah.
So
Guessing so.
He's like, what's the question?
So comparing, obviously, so you're now married, you have a kid. I don't know how much of, how do I put this? I don't know how much of a Christian you were before you got married compared to now. I don't know what's changed, but has it been easier while you've been married to like focus on God? Do you think it was easier before? Has Pam helped you? Like, what has the dynamic been?
So I can actually say I've been a Christian from when I was little, born in the church, brought up in the church, everything.
Is that a Christian? Like, I go to church.
Yeah, it's that sort of Christian.
We've all
Like,
been
I didn't understand being a Christian.
Yeah.
And I could say that I didn't understand being a Christian until pretty much up until when I met Pam, and just a bit past. It was like it was more that, oh yeah, I know the Bible. I've got to underline. Cool. I could go to church. I don't go to church. Growing up in the SDA church, they follow almost the Jewish way of where no pork, sunset Friday till sunset Saturday, no TV. And being a Christian and being young and being around the world, like being of my friends and all that, it was quite hard to follow the ruling of being that typical SDA Christian at that time. So it was very hard for me to follow. So I ended up I'll go to church whenever I want. If I go to church, I go to church. If I don't, on Saturday, I'm off. It crept up, as in I turned up to church just as service is starting, then it kind of like went to halfway, and then I'm just there to socialize after and then I'm driving off. But yeah, it was it was easier to just be of the world when I was single. But I feel that I've built a better relationship with God in my marriage. So because one is like, there's someone there that I could always talk to. Even though at home I had my mum and my sister where I could talk, but it was more along the lines, now I've got a life partner that I could communicate with, and I could tell my true feelings too. And yeah, I say, so to answer your question, it's easier for me as a person to have a relationship with God in my marriage than before. Because remember, when you're out there, you're out there, isn't it? Like, there's more. There was a song that I sent in a group about the black
no grey.
no grey. Pam was the one that pulled out to me. I was like, 100%. That is.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to it.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's
when
just
I
like
heard
this
it, I had the
talking.
exact same feeling.
Yeah.
And that's how he writes, to be fair.
Like, legit, when he sounds like a woman when he sings, but I actually understand.
Who is this?
Maybe we shouldn't drop the name.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm totally with you.
God.
I've always thought
I
that.
love him.
But the thing, when I heard I'm just saying, no, I love the song and I love his
It's
work.
such a good song.
His work works, but it was a surprising song. Like the fact,
Yeah, because it was so real.
that, it was real. Like you can't serve two masters. You have to
Yeah.
either be
To pick one.
black or white. You can't be grey.
Yeah.
And I was living in the black. But
No.
We've all been there, man. We have.
Honestly, Dwayne. Oh, sorry.
No,
No,
you go.
like I really, really love that, and I think it is just that thing of being aligned.
yes.
Like your walk with God could have gone either way.
Either way, 100%.
Like
100%.
and you know when
he
I say
who
that.
finds a wife.
That's a good thing.
Yes,
Come on.
yes. And you know, like earlier I said that 9 times out of 10 it goes the opposite way.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
it's true.
look at you being the
no,
one.
but the thing is,
No,
Oh, look
being
at
the
Pam
one.
being the one.
Pam is the
thing
one.
it was solely because I already had the
Desire.
desire.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted the relationship, and if you see the wedding video, it was very, very God. Like we had, so it was very God in that service right there. Like,
See why I want someone who wants that, has
That
that desire.
Yeah.
Because you push each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's why in your relationship you can say honestly that it has been easier for you because you're both
I'm not
trying to be.
You're not trying to
Yeah.
fight. You're not fighting.
You're not.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to read the Bible, but I don't know what my other half is.
It's gonna say. Yeah. You see.
And I'm not reading. If I'm going to do it, I'm not doing it by myself.
Exactly.
I get you.
You're doing it together, and that's the beauty of then.
Yeah.
You see, this is what. Oh gosh, when I say to people, whoa, but you don't know. I'm like, no, man, he just needs to want it as well,
Yeah.
because
But
it
the
just
thing-
makes
the
it
thing
easier.
is-
Because then we want it together.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know?
I feel it's weird. I feel Pam is more ahead in the Christian walk than me. I'm very if you like, you know my temper. I'm a very laid back sort of person. Like, not much can really move me. So Pam's always like, yeah, we're gonna go to church, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then maybe on that Sunday morning, I'm like, I'm not gonna go. Legit, I'm just not gonna go. But there's sometimes I actually feel that I want to go, and I want to be there, in it. But yeah.
Hi, Steph.
Steph.
That's fine.
Everybody wanted to say it, but it was like, no. Yeah, no.
Oh, I really want to ask this question, but I just don't feel. I'm gonna ask it, and we can maybe answer it, or we can talk about it next week. But just like on the point that you just mentioned about feeling that Pam is like ahead in that sense. I know a lot of people when they're talking about marriage and when they're talking about their partner, especially a lot of Christian women, they're looking for a man that will be a spiritual head, right?
Yeah.
And the way the church is looking, it looks like women are.
No, legit. The women are the spiritual heads. Like, I'm not going to lie.
That's why we need to pray for a man.
Not a lot of baby pastors out here,
But
man.
what I'm trying to say is it really a problem if the woman in the marriage is the one that is more
Spearheading
spiritually
the-
mature.
It's
Is that
less-
really
I
a problem?
feel that it's less of a problem for the man if the woman is the one pulling. But if the woman wants someone that is a spiritual head of the house, it will be a problem.
So it depends on her desire, what she wants.
Like if she
Yeah.
wants someone to be up there
Pushing
like,
her.
yeah. Then if your but the thing is, what's crazy, if your relationship with God is already strong enough and you feel that you are the strong believer in the relationship, you won't need your husband to have as much pull on you.
But he
That-
needs to have the desire.
He has the
He has
desire.
to have the
Yeah.
He has
desire.
the desire. He has the background. He knows what he wants, but he doesn't have to be that one that goes, "We're not doing it." Like, you know what I mean? Like, be that true preacher. You know what I mean? Like, I can't explain.
The baby
I-
pastor of the house,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting, and I think it's really interesting that that's your dynamic, because that is a lot of people's dynamic.
Yeah.
Where you know the guy's like, maybe I might not go to church today,
Yeah.
and that's, I mean,
Hello,
honestly,
aunties in church.
yeah, and I think it's okay
true.
so long as
and that's something that I need. I feel in myself, I need to change.
Yeah.
Like, if I have got the time, I should.
You
go.
should just go.
Yeah.
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 Today I couldn't go because of work, but like legit, Pam could back me on this. My phone went off, the lines were down. I had to stay home just in case. But yeah,
Nice.
I think it does come down to your I guess your preference in this, like when you're forming your list as well, like where do you see you and your partner being in terms of your spiritual walk? Because it is an important thing. If you feel like you want your husband to be like the priest over your home, to be leading your family in prayers or like fastings or whatever, if that's what you see your husband being, and you get with someone that's not like that, that's going to cause frustrations in your marriage. So I feel like it comes down to being honest with what you want, and like obviously acknowledging different dynamics. No dynamic is perfect, no dynamic is wrong or right. It's just acknowledging what your preference is and staying true to you, so that it doesn't cause more problems along the line because you compromise in a certain area that you perhaps shouldn't have compromised in, because it's now
100%.
causing you to either pull back or causing you to feel uncomfortable because your partner's a certain way. So I just feel like it comes down to you need to be honest with, okay, this is where I am, and I would like someone to be here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good convo, guys.
Conversation. Very good conversation.
Well, it's not the end,
Dwayne's held it
but
down.
it is. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Tads, as well.
It was a
Oh,
good
I've enjoyed
conversation.
this.
Yeah.
I really have, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to a couple of weeks' time where we go a little bit further into dating. That's gonna be an interesting one. You know,
A lot to say.
No,
I can
This
see
is
I can see that is definitely gonna be juicy. I don't think it's gonna be a one episode either. That's gonna definitely spill into two, I'm sure. But yes, thank you all. I don't know if there's any comments. If there's any comments, I think we're good.
Loved this combo, guys. Thank
Oh,
you, Hannah.
yay. Thanks, Hannah. Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone, for joining us. We just to kind of reiterate the fact that we were just saying that, being mindful of what the goal is as individuals in the Lord, and then as those individuals being in a relationship, what you need to continue doing. Just be on it, man. Be on the ball, yo.
That's
Be
it.
on the ball. Be on the ball.
Enjoy and maximize
Enjoy.
your singleness.
Yes, maximize.
live your best life.
Live
Maximize.
life.
Living the best life.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for those who joined us on Instagram. Thank you to those who've joined us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe so that
share
we
it.
can you can always get alerts when we're going live. And yes, please share. Yes, I think that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Oh, the Eden Ideal. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay. Bye.